And the live the live continues because we are here on a day where really the stars came out and the stars stood tall. Guys, welcome to our recap stream plus watch along because we have the Argentina Algeria matchup that's happening. That's going to be on the screen, but we're going to be talking about the games that were today. France in the battle of Senegal and France taking that game 3-1, and Norway pretty much convincing in their 4-1 win over Iraq, meaning right now Norway, because of goal difference, stand at the top of that group with France after them, and then Senegal in third, and then Iraq in fourth. We'll talk about that, plus talk about the games that is happening as we're here, Argentina and Algeria. Today turns out to be a day where the stars are out. The big names are all playing today. You saw Mbappe, you saw Haaland, and now we're going to see Messi on the pitch. Let me know what your thoughts of the day were. Let me know what your big takeaways from the games that were and the game that is currently as we go through this. We'll be here for this game. As always, we'll have a myriad of people swinging through, stopping by, giving their opinions, having discussions. Yesterday turned into which African teams compare to which European clubs, which is a little fun little discussion. We clipped that and put that on that channel. So if you want to go and find that, just go over to our YouTube channel and hit that video button and play that video. See if you agree with those thoughts or not. But we're here to talk about the games that were and the games that is and the games that will be. And to be honest, it's a very interesting conversation just to think about how do we term this day? How do we term it? How do we just file away these games as we have the anthems here and we're getting ready to see Argentina begin their defense of their World Cup title. We haven't had a back-to-back winner, but we've had back-to-back finalists. We've had back-to-back semifinalists in the last two World Cups as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how this turns out. But today we had one big matchup, which you know what? If you are looking for the most positive things about that game, there were opportunities in the first half for Senegal to be up, but they were a little bit too leaky for me. And at the end, you can only give a player like Mbappe so many chances before he converts them. But today we have, as the game's getting off, Argentina versus Algeria playing. And rather, I'm actually a little bit surprised with some of the names that we didn't see start for Algeria. I'm actually a little bit surprised that we're going with a few younger players, which, hey, see how that goes. And it is something I always think about when it comes to this. Play your best, play your young players in these big moments. And if they can't handle it, you always have veterans to come in who can better evaluate and run off of this game. We'll definitely be watching that and seeing what happens with that here. But guys, as you're coming in, the question is, what do you take away those two big wins that happened today? Right, France over Senegal, Norway over Iraq. What do you make of those games? And then also for Algeria and Argentina, what's your expectations? Are we expecting Argentina just to come through and clean house? Or are we expecting Algeria to put up enough of a fight? What's the expectation for a match like today? But we're here to talk about all the games that were or are today. So if you have thoughts about France versus Senegal, leave them in the comments in the chat. If you have thoughts about Haaland now becoming the all-time leading scorer for Norway because he scored 2 and now he's all-time goal in the World Cup, leave your thoughts there. Or if you want to talk about this Algeria Argentina matchup, leave your thoughts in the comments as we have Argentina. This alliteration of A is going to kill me today, but we'll do our best to do well. And if you had to know, the beverage of choice today is coconut water because, hydration is key. But here we are, here talking about, and as I said earlier, with this Algeria-Argentina matchup, this is interesting to me because we've not had two Yeah, we've not had 2 back we haven't had back-to-back winners in the World Cup in a minute, in a very long time. We've had France make 2 straight finals. We've had Croatia make 2 semifinals, straight semifinals. We've seen yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how it breaks down, but right now, after a free kick, we got Algeria in the green, and then we have Argentina in their striped blue and white playing. They're gonna go the direct route to see if they get there, but a little bit too direct, and now Argentina are gonna start off. But a very young attacking line for Argentina. So, I mean, for Algeria, again, the A's are gonna get me today, so I do apologize. I do wonder what they're able to do. I do. I do wonder how Algeria works. And for me, I like Algeria going with a little bit more of a youthful starting 11. Primarily because, hey, if it's not working, you can always swap that and bring in veterans who can maybe read the game a bit better. Or maybe you're the opposite and you think you want some younger players to step in to those moments as they go through. Just to give you the lineups real quick here because you may have missed them coming in a very pro Argentinian crowd here. Right, I think that group for where they find themselves is going to be a very interesting group because you have Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. And it's not an impossible group. It isn't an impossible group. I think you clearly favor Argentina as the favorites for the group. But then between, I think, Austria, and Algeria, the A's are going to kill me. You definitely could see a pathway for both. I think you probably maybe lean more on Sabitzer and Austria to get it through, but this Algeria side can show well. I think, though, realistically, you have Algeria battling for third, maybe can surprise depending on what happens with Austria. But it'll be very interesting to see how the rest of the group shakes out if we assume you have the likes of Argentina taking the group up and moving forward as we got a quick offsides coming here. But as we said, let me just show you those lineups real quick here in case you want to know who's starting or for whatever reason you just don't know who's starting. I'll give you the Algeria and Argentina lineup here, courtesy of SofaScore. And here is the lineup for Argentina. You have Emi Martinez, Medina, Martinez, Romero, and Montiel. You have DePaul, McAllister, Fernandez, and Almada. And then Lautaro Martinez and Lionel Messi, who's starting. For the Algerians, you have Lucas Zidane with Ait Nouri, Benzbeni. You have Mandi and then Belgali. In the middle, you have Boadi, Maza, and then Ben Taleb, and up top you have Chaibi, Gueri, and then Musa. That is your starting 11 for both sides. As we have and a oh, and we almost had our opener, but Messi was offsides. Messi was offside, so that goal is not counting here. But Argentina are knocking on the door quickly here against Algeria. So still 0-0, but Argentina with the first real knock on the door to get the opening goal in this matchup. But again, guys, if you watch the game today, if you have thoughts about the France winning, in a great second half from them, France winning over Senegal 3-1, or you want to talk about Holland and Norway getting past Iraq 4-1, we're all ears for talking about it. And we're just here to take wherever the conversation goes with us. So any thoughts you have, make sure you throw them into the chat and we will go from there as we see the first of many, I'm sure, who will show up. Nelson today, sir. Messi almost scored, but offsides. But how are you liking this battle of A countries, right? Algeria and Argentina so far. Nelson maybe dealing with some audio here. But we still got the build up here coming here. Here we are with Argentina just building from the back, moving the ball out wide. Oh my, out of nothing. Because this is just, well, let's give you this play by play here. A bad throw, a bad pass from Montiel coming in. Then you have, well, we're giving you this play by play here. Yep, clearly offsides on the goal for Messi. But let's get to this goal that may get a few people raising their eyebrows. So here we have ball played in the middle, gone out wide, back to the middle, back to the middle, switching a play all the way to the right hand side. We'll see, because this is under VAR here. Wow, so we've had 2 goals, a good pass, and near post finish. We've had 2 goals already taken off due to offsides. See, we were getting ready to really enjoy this moment, but then, well, VAR does not care for countries with A's. 2 goals have been scrapped. 2 goals have been wiped due to VAR. It is still 0-0, but both sides now sending messages, sending shots across the bow to see that they are dangerous sides. Both beat on the inside post, and it's still 0-0. Nelson, are you here with us? Oh, this is a game. Both teams sending shots across the bow here, but it is still 0-0. We've seen the ball cross line twice, but none of them have stood. None of them have stood at this moment. So we're going to see what we can do here, but what a start to this game. A game I think many people are thinking Argentina would have taken and won, but we've seen Algeria at least show some life. So those quick transitions, those link up plays, finding some room in a half space, diagonal balls, those are all here, and we're definitely going to be watching to see how this game goes. We are certainly seated, and we are certainly paying attention. Beautiful, but this game has started, and I am paying attention to this. As we have now a free kick coming in a dangerous spot for Algeria. Definitely they're building, and they're showing definitely better in those transition moments. Not necessarily on the counter, but they're definitely showing better in transition moments. And I think this is definitely they're showing enough to be dangerous. And I like this here as we bring Nelson back in here. I mean, this game has had 2 goals already erased due to VAR, but I'm surprised for Algeria that they went with a more younger attacking line. I know they've had young attackers, but I thought they would maybe go with Mahrez and see how long it could take him. But in a game like this, I don't mind it. Play your young players, and if they're not up to level, you always have the substitutions. You have halftime to make changes. So I like this from Algeria, and they've shown well enough. And even in the chance that didn't go through, they've shown that, hey, they've sent a message here. How are you enjoying this game so far, Nelson?
Well, it's only been a couple minutes in, so even though there have been chances, both were offside. It'd be interesting to see what Arsene Wenger has suggestions on changing the offside rule. That's going to be interesting if they do pass that. But in terms of the game, I think it's still too early. But yeah, the youthful side. Wait, that's off? No way. That's so marginal, but okay. That's really tight.
Which one are we
Um,
talking? The Messi one or
the
the
Algeria one.
Algeria goal?
The Algeria one's pretty tight.
It seemed minimal, but they gave it as a hey, as that. But
Oh, so do you know what Arsene Wenger's suggestions are
for
for
it's
the offside?
any part that is level, you have to be fully clear of the player.
No, no, I'm saying,
Well,
do you know what the suggestions he wants to make to the offside rule? Do you know who Wenger
Um,
is?
yes, I know who.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm
because
saying.
they're
I'm asking.
trialing it at in the CPL. That's why I'm just trying to go through the rules this year. That's why I was trying to go through that
The
specifically. But
the player
explain it to
has
everyone
to
else
be
then.
the player has to be blatantly, like, he has to be away, like
Hmm.
completely away from
Hmm.
the attack has to be completely away from the defender. So something
Yes.
like that, the Algeria one would be onside
Yes.
because it's in line. If you're in line with the defense, it doesn't matter. Like now, as
Mm.
you said, now it's any goal scoring part of your body that is technically ahead of the defender would
Hmm.
be offside. Now, if you're
Yeah.
just in line with them, that's on.
Yeah.
I
As long
don't
as
know if
something
that's
is in
gonna go
line, yeah.
through. Who that'd be a crazy change to offside.
Well, like I said, they are trialing it in the Canadian Premier League this year, and we've seen some goals go through that wouldn't be counted otherwise, but have gone through because of the rule. So it's definitely something I've seen many like the fact
Wait,
that
so
they're
the
trialing
CPL
it.
is using different rules, different offside rules.
Yeah, they're trialing the Arsene Wenger offsides this year.
Hmm.
Yep, they most definitely are. So yeah, sorry for it. Wasn't that I didn't know what it was. I was just struggling on explaining it because in my mind I was like trying to find the right. It's a simple rule to explain. Just as
Yeah,
any part can be level.
it's
Yeah.
simpler than what it is now. The
Yes.
current rule only makes sense if you're watching the game. If you're trying to
Hmm.
explain it to someone, it's incredibly difficult.
Hmm.
But
As long, yeah. Hmm.
so the games today kind of went the way that we didn't want. So I'm hoping this one, like the good teams, basically won.
We're
Like,
dominant.
yeah.
Like,
I
yeah.
don't think France were dominant to Senegal.
I,
By the way,
I
I think
don't.
they were
I
more
hear.
clinical.
I would say the first, if you, and I always put this caveat. I think if you're trying to be the most optimistic,
Mm.
I think the first half, if you look at the clear chances, Senegal
It
had the
was
best
Senegal.
two chances in the
Yeah,
first half. Yes.
the
Nicholas
Saar
Jackson
miss
hits the
was
post.
crazy.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Sar miss is something that you, even if it's 1-0 at halftime, that you would have said, like,
that
yeah,
changes everything. By the way, if
it
Saar
would have.
scores, because he scores literally at the end of the first half, that
Yeah.
knocks the sails off of France.
Hmm.
I think they
But
allowed France to
mhm.
get back into the game. But go on, sorry.
but even in that first half, like France were hitting Mbappe on long balls. They were getting Dembele through the middle, and it just their touch was
I thought
poor.
Dembele was poor. I'm sorry. Like Mbappe, yes, did get a few. Mbappe's Senegal was attacking in a rather interesting way because they were clearly very aggressive in the attack. Like
Hmm.
both fullbacks were pushing forward, um, and that's why you saw Mbappe having so much space whenever
Hmm.
they're
Yes,
playing those balls to him.
and they're trying to get,
Um,
but many were, yeah, yeah.
but to me, I still think in the first half Senegal were really good. In the second half, Dua was tasked with being more direct,
Mm.
and that really changed the game. Because, to be honest, the right back Diata was poor in like the friendlies. And if you remember,
Hmm.
I actually told Mo, I said, if you guys play Diata, that's going to be a problem
Mm.
because he struggled and Messi just scored. Jesus
Oh well,
Christ.
yep.
What a
Well,
goal.
well, John, you John, you
what
come right
a
in time.
what a goal.
What
Oh
a
my days.
messy, sir.
Someone said someone we spoke to had said Messi was washed. Oh yeah, is that right? Is that why he just banged probably one of the best goals in the tournament? He said he told Mbappe, "Wait, just chill. Let me show you how it's done." Holy!
Today is definitely the day where we say the stars have come out and are delivering.
Look at that bang! Side netting.
Yeah, just
Yo, Messi's different, man.
Messi just
Holy, that's so unfair for a player to be that blessed. That's crazy. Look at that. Like that
right.
went side netting. Oh no, the keeper
Yes.
got it. Oh, so the keeper.
Okay.
Oh, so
Luca got a piece of
actually,
it. Yeah.
that was a crap goalkeeper. He
Yeah.
had the ball.
Let's see it. Yeah. I'm going back on the stream to see this replay here.
Shocking. But hey, still good goal. He still had to make the shot. Keeper was weak though.
Oh, Luca. Luca. That's like nothing is more like there are some things that are annoying, but you have two hands and it just goes to your fingertips and goes through. Oh, Luca, baby, come on. Well, it's 1-0. 1-0 for the guys in blue and white. And now let's see if Algeria, you guys can come alive because this crowd, you see nothing but white kits and maybe a few chocolate chips of green. Everything else is white in this stadium. But no, I think back to the first game, like I felt as if I'll get to this. Yeah, we kind of spoiled with Messi being around for so long. He does the stuff like that, and some people go, "Yep, that's Messi. Nice one." Yeah, I think you grow accustomed to just the
Brilliant.
level. Yeah.
People understate how exceptional Ronaldo and Messi were to the point where
Hmm.
we just take it for granted. Like if you watch, here's the thing: the younger audiences have been unlucky on. We saw football before these phenoms showed
Hmm.
up. It
Hmm.
was rare to see a combination of those talents that either Messi or Ronaldo had. Like it's
Hmm.
just a level of exceptional. You can. There were points. Marcelo used to say this: if he crossed the ball and it was a good cross, just the fact that it was a good cross, he'd be running back because he knew that's a goal.
Hmm.
Like that's how automatic Ronaldo was. And again, and you hear all the stories about Messi in training that Mbappe said he was doing training drills, and like he scores a banger, and everyone around him's like, yeah, yeah, good job, good job. And then he looks at Messi. Messi hits the same spot over and over and over again, every time, doesn't miss.
Yeah.
That stuff's it's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and as John says, like sometimes you see it so often that you kind of take it for granted how good it is. But then when you, like you said, when you remember the football that we grew up watching, you're just like, actually, no, I'm not taking this for granted. It's happening a lot, but I'm not taking this for granted. It almost puts, and not to say that like Mbappe is starting on his journey, he's
What do you mean
not
starting? He's
there.
27. He's old. He's the
I live in
version.
a world
It's
where there's
over.
37-year-olds at the World Cup. This
Listen,
man is
listen.
young.
Here's the problem, and you've actually done something that I don't like what people do. Messi and Ronaldo are such anomalies.
Outliers.
They're such
Yes.
outliers that it's impossible. It's impossible to have and like the next person who'll be on Ronaldo and Messi's level, we might never see. You understand? It was Pele, then a gap, then Maradona, then a gap, then Messi and Ronaldo. We could be in our 70s, 80s when the next Messi Ronaldo type,
Yeah.
yeah, shows up. Because historically,
Yeah.
we've had them. We had R9, but then he got injured. Ronaldo, the Brazilian
Yeah.
one. We had Ronaldo, we had Rivaldo was very good, but then he was severely injured. You had former Argentinian friends. I'll give you a person, Pablo Aimar, but he didn't seem to have that scoring touch. We always had players who looked like they could be the next big thing, but for some reason, multiple
We
factors,
never had the
injuries,
longevity.
well,
Yeah.
it could be multiple things. There are multiple reasons why
Hmm.
it didn't work, but to get another Ronaldo, to get another Cristiano Ronaldo, to get another Messi, and to get them both at the same time, which is one of the reasons why I think both are so great, is both had exceptional that they were both in their prime around the same time. That's really rare.
Mm.
We've never seen that before. Maybe Pele and Bobby Charlton, if you want to say, if there was something close. But let's be honest, Bobby Charlton, Eusebio, they're good players, but we weren't there. I don't know how good they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. No, that is definitely that's fair. That's more than fair, and I think that's for me. Just you again, like you said, when you're in that moment, you take it for granted, and then when it's gone, you just might think and say, "Actually, what
But
did we
did we?
just witness for?"
No, I don't think it's taking it for granted. It's just how automatic it is. Like
Well,
it's how
and maybe
you
I used the
see
wrong
it,
word
and
for it. Yeah.
your presumption is that's a goal. Like the fact that, like, we talk about this with Steph Curry and like during his pump. Like there were points where you could see the ball gets to Steph and he takes a shot and you immediately like, okay, he's sunk it. Like that's not
Hmm.
normal. Like, but he makes the abnormal look normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say makes the extraordinary look mundane,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing that you just said. But yeah, and I think that's what makes it very, and that's what I was trying to say. Just taking it for granted, you just see it often. You think that okay, well, this is normal for them, yes, but then you think this is normal for everyone. But it is very similar to like you use the Steph Curry aspect, but we've seen great players in different sports try to replicate what great players do, or we've seen other players try to do, and then you watch and you're just like, actually, no, what they did is very special, and they've made this look so simple that it's actually not simple, but they made the extraordinary seem so mundane that we don't really see it as different. But like you said, yeah, it might be another generation for us before we see anyone do something like this. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy these moments as we're singing the hydration break here. 1-0 for yeah, 1-0 for them coming in here. But as we're in that hydration break, let's like what's your is the major takeaway for the game number one today? Is it as simple as just saying once the second half came, the stars were stars. Mbappe was made the most of his
I think
chances because
so.
at some point I thought,
I think
yeah,
Dembele was really poor. That's why he got benched. I think Kamara, Gay, Idrissa Gay, and Pap Gay had dominated that midfield in the first
mhm,
half. Second half comes on. Adrian Rabiot starts. Okay, first of all,
mhm.
I think hey Quill. Um, I think the referee was shocking in that game because there were so many fouls that he just kept ignoring, and I'm like, that's a free kick at that point is so important, and by the way, on both sides, right?
Yeah, oh,
Um,
agreed. Yeah.
and in the same vein, I love that he didn't call Mbappe's foul in the box a pen. I
The
I,
penalty,
I
yeah.
think a weaker ref would have given that as a pen because he didn't touch him.
Hmm.
That's the most important. He didn't touch him, and you can argue, yeah, he had
Hmm.
momentum and he cut him across, so he had to dive. I'm like, yeah, but that's what a pen means. A pen means there has to be
Hmm.
contact. Like the player has to tackle him to initiate that
Hmm.
contact, hence the penalty. So it was cool, but I thought the ref kind of played a part because Rabio, I'm not kidding, half of his tackles were fouls. I'm not joking. I was watching him primarily, and I'm like, dude, that's not a tackle. Like there were 50-50 challenges he did to Pap Gay that I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a foul, clearly. Running a man on his back is a foul. It made no sense.
Yeah.
But Hey,
No, agreed. And
credit to
yeah,
Olise and Mbappe for just being clinical, and Bakola for actually showing that he can shoot.
yeah,
So, yeah,
always good to see. But no, like I'm someone when it comes to refs, and with it, by my definition of how I want a ref to ref something, this was a good ref because I want my ref
no,
to
this
be
is a bad ref.
consistent,
Oh
right?
no, 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 no! This is a
Oh,
bad
and
ref.
this he was
A, f-
bad, but he was
a
consistently
foul is a
bad.
foul is a
Like,
foul. A foul is a foul. Like it,
agreed.
you don't change the rules just because you think a foul should be a foul. Like my
Oh,
consistency
I
should
agree
be
with you.
if you can allow hard tackles, for instance, like handing
Hmm.
over yellow cards versus allowing fouls is two different things. Like you can be like, I'll be
Yes.
lenient on hard tackles because this seems to be a physical game, but you can't be lenient on
Hmm.
fouls. And I thought this guy was extremely like, unless you went to ground for a tackle, any 50-50 challenge, regardless of state, was not a foul.
Hmm.
And I think um, Rabio understood that very quickly. And to be fair with him, he played the ref. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
the ref allowed me to be more aggressive, and that's why I actually thought the Senegalese coach was actually really poor, because once he started noticing that the physicality from France increased, he didn't update his midfield.
Mm.
He should have removed Lamine Kamara and Idris Gueye and brought in bigger midfielders. Bring in Pap
Mm.
Matissar, bring in Mbai or sorry, Ndiaye. You could have brought in
Hmm.
bigger guys who can handle that physicality. And that, first of all, that Mbai kid is ridiculous. He's the guy who scored the
Who scored the goal? Yeah.
that crazy goal. But
Hmm.
again, Mane stays on the pitch when he was largely inefficient. Sorry, not even
Yep.
inefficient, like largely ineffective the whole game. Um, yeah, yeah. I think this was more France really showcasing experience, having that elite talent, and Senegal dismissing like some. This was actually similar to the Ecuador game, where had they scored their goals early on, this game
Mm.
looks different. But Senegal rode their luck, and then sorry, France rode their luck, and then once they scored the first goal, Senegal had to open up, and the moment they opened up, it
Yeah.
was over. That was it.
At that point, yeah. And like I was making that comp when I was watching. I thought like this game is either like because it was one of two things. I thought it was either going to be the Ecuador Cote d'Ivoire matchup, or for whatever reason it would turn into the Japan Netherlands game. But it because like the Cote d'Ivoire Ecuador comps were there just because like France was good in possession. They weren't getting as many shots on frame, but then whenever Senegal got on the ball in transition, like they were creating good, dangerous chances. So I'm like, if this game continues like this, a transition moment might be what Senegal needs. But like you said, right, the refs weren't really calling, which is also why when the penalty came into my mind was like, the ref didn't give it. And yes, it'll go to VAR, but this ref didn't give it. And if he's not going to call anything the entire game, and
Yeah,
then at that point, he's going to be like, no, that's a pen. I'm going to be like, no, sir. No,
yeah.
sir.
That
No,
part he
no, no,
was
no, no.
consistent. I will give him that.
Yeah.
But again,
Hmm.
if that was another ref, that's a pen. But prior to that pen, there'd have been multiple fouls, and that game would
Hmm.
be completely different. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing that I'm trying to explain: fouls in games also stop momentum. So
Yes.
if they're not calling fouls, then France can do stuff that France and Senegal can do things that
Hmm.
essentially stop the game. And again, Mane's on almost gave away that penalty. I
Yes.
just thought it was a combination of France taking their chances, but Senegal had to open up. Then Senegal had only one play in this game. It's either hold the game to a nil-nil draw or score early and then have France open up and then you hit them on the counter. Because they were
Yeah.
also dangerous on the counter. Nico Jackson was dangerous
Mhm.
on the counter. Um,
The one goal he
yes,
scores when
agreed. That's what
he
Cole is
tries to
saying.
come back.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Cole. Like I'm
Mhm,
finding refs are letting the game flow. Sometimes a bit harsh of a flow. I agree, because
mhm,
if 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 you're letting the game flow, and I do a hard crunching tackle on you, the ball bobbles, someone else takes the ball, and then from that counter you score. It's crazy. That shouldn't
mhm,
happen. Like we need this to be a lot more realistic, because all these hard tackles will lead to injuries. Like, we also need to
mhm,
be worried about that. Teams will. This is the first game for most teams. If teams expect the refs to play like this, to ref games like this, they will be more aggressive in the forthcoming games. Like the next games, you'll see hard tackles,
mhm.
real hard fouls. So yeah,
Definitely there. But then again, like the other story of this game, the stars were stars, right? Mbappe. It, at first, I was gonna say the first star of this match is Mendy is keeping Senegal as a draw because they were the way that France were having their runs in that first game. They were just getting good cuts in, and then it was 1v1s with the keepers, but Mendy's making the save. So I'm just like, look, at this
wait, but
point, Mendy, you're keeping this game.
how many 1v1s did you
Fine.
have in the first half?
Not the first half, the second half,
Yeah, but that's
building
what,
it
but
back because I
they allowed them in. That's the issue. The
mm,
issue is they
yeah,
changed the setup. They benched
mm,
Dembele, who was largely ineffective. Remember, they moved Olise more centrally, and Olise more centrally
hmm,
meant they got a lot more creativity from there, because
yes,
Olise was struggling against Diouf, who's one of the best defensive fullbacks. But you put him in the middle, the game changes. So either way,
hmm.
I
No, that's
like
true.
we're talking
Yeah.
about a really good France team as well. Like, they are
For sure.
tournament favorites for a reason. That it's not a joke.
Hmm.
Like, this was a
Are you
statement win.
disappointed? Yeah. Like, are you not to say that we're gonna not adding to the friendly to the US in this, but are we is there an antenna that goes up now when we look at Senegal? Or are we just gonna say they just played a really good France team and they should be able to recoup by the next game?
I think if they play 90% of teams the way they played France, they beat them. How many teams have Mbappe? How many teams have uh, an Elise? How many teams have, like, they face an elite team, and all of them started. By the way, all the elite players played that game. Turkey came on. Um, who else came on? Due had a
Barcola
good
came
game.
on and then
Makola came
yeah.
on. Like, a lot of the best players came on, and they were good. They were, and here's the thing about them that I have to give Max credit for, is that their level doesn't really drop much when they bring in
Yeah.
players. Upamecano, by the way, played an exceptional game, but I thought, first of all, that's such a bad matchup because Nico Jackson for the last season was at Bayern Munich, so he
Mhm.
has defended Nico Jackson in training multiple times. He knows his habits. So
Yeah.
now, and Sa was the issue. Sa's
Mhm.
ability to, like, it's really difficult to say this because hindsight is 2020 here, but I thought Iliman Diaz should have played, but it's maybe
Mhm.
because Iliman Diaz played so poorly in the US game, they just didn't feel like he was good enough to play in this one.
Mhm.
But I felt like a lot of times, Mane, I'm sorry, there are times I just feel like if he's ineffective, get him out the, just bench him. But because he's the captain, they're not letting
Yeah.
him go. He has the same.
Mhm.
By the way, Mane has the same thing Salah has, which is he doesn't like being benched. He gets upset when he gets benched. I'm
Mhm.
not a big fan of him at this stage of his career. But hey, it's not him. The coach has to do it. The coach didn't
Yeah.
do it. I would say this is more France were really good, but Senegal had opportunities and they just squandered them. But this doesn't give me the vibe that Senegal versus Norway is not going to be an interesting game. I think that's going to be very, very interesting.
it'll definitely be a very interesting
Oof,
game.
very poor for Messi. Oh no,
Yeah,
Martinez, not
he should
Messi.
have.
Martinez.
Oh, well, should have been on frame, he says. But no, like it definitely goes because as you switch to that, and again, guys, as we're watching this game, 37th minute, 1-0 for Argentina. Messi scoring off a ball that goes at the fingertips of Lucas Zidane. Generation. See, we're passing from generations, from Zidane to Messi. It's how it went. Like the Norway Iraq game, I started watching it, and then my immediate thought was set pieces. Just my goodness, set pieces will be a, a headache. It'll be a headache. The amount of times I saw either Holland or I'm forgetting who the other forward is holding up, and the
What did
man
I tell
has a
you?
foot and a
Hey,
half.
remember what I said? What did I say yesterday? I
Yeah.
said 5-1 or 4-1. I said 5-0 or 4-0. I didn't see Iraq score, but Iraq scored. But
Mm-hmm.
that height is an issue. That combination of Soloth and Haaland is
Yeah.
unfair for 95% of teams in this World Cup. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
against anyone, unless you've got giants in your team, and it's not just them. Those two, it's just because of their attack. You forget Sander Berge or Sanderberg
Yep.
is 6'3". He's in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And like even the smaller guys are tall. Like Odegaard is tall.
There's
The smaller guys are
like
6 foot. Like they're not a
yeah.
tiny team. So like
It's
hey,
just because you're so used to it's like, oh, everyone's 6'4", then the short guy's like, no, that he's just 6, he's 6. It's okay. Everyone else on their defense is still 5'7", 5'9". So like what are you supposed to but my goodness. And then you just another appreciation for another player in this day. Like, by the way, congratulations to Erling Haaland, who's now Norway's World Cup leading goal scorer
that was
with
coming.
his 2.
Yep. Yeah, that's
It
the most
was
obvious thing ever. He was definitely going to.
they had to do it.
Yeah. Some are just it's just obvious. He was going.
Mhm.
He was eventually going to become it. So, but yeah, congrats to him.
And and congrats to Mbappe, who's now France's all-time leading goal scorer.
It's crazy that Giroud was the leading goal scorer
Yeah.
prior to him. Yeah, if you think of the elite strikers that France have had, the fact like Thierry Henry, Anelka, you had Platini, you had Platini was on second midfielder, but who cares? You had Eric Cantona and who else? Benzema recently. Like they had all these elite strikers, but the guy who was leading them was Giroud, which is mental. And then now you have Mbappe, who rightfully is Mr. World Cup.
Yeah, there is never a stage where the lights are too bright for him. And you could argue the lights just got turned on.
It's called the Champions League, buddy.
Okay,
let's
when
be
he's
honest,
got when he's got the cock
sportif,
there's no stage that's too bright for him. Okay, when he's wearing the
by the way,
blue.
I still think the fact that midfield, that France midfield was dominated by Senegal for 45 minutes, I actually think that is going to play a part. If they play the big teams with good midfields, will stress them. Like a Spain, Spain will stress them. Argentina will
that
stress
matchup
them.
before for sure.
Yeah, Argentina will stress them. Who's another team with a good midfield? Oof, they're not many actually. Maybe England. Maybe England have a decent midfield, but I think they can handle England's midfield. To be fair.
Yeah.
Oi.
Yes.
Where the hell, Almada, were you shooting? What was that ball going? Checking the bleachers?
To the second, to the 200 section, sir. To the 200 section.
He's trying to hit the Jumbotron.
10 points for that. He's going for. But yes, John, there is a midnight game today because this is technically a 4-match game window.
Yeah. Tomorrow, England play. Ooh, I can't wait. I
England,
was
Croatia. Yes.
I'm talking to some. I'm in a Discord with a bunch of United fans, and
Yeah.
no, most of them are English. And dude, it's like talking people off the ledge. Every single one of them are going, "Our team sucks. Our team sucks." I'm like, "No, your team is good." Like you, just because France have world class players up top, you also have one. Actually, you have many. I could easily make the argument that Rice has been the best midfielder in Europe this season. I could make a
Okay.
very simple argument. I think people hype up PSG a lot. That Arsenal PSG game, Rice was dominating them, genuinely.
Mm.
So I really think that they feel I think that they've seen too many. They have too much trauma. They need to relax. This
It's
is a good
it,
squad.
it's their scar tissue of tournaments past, which even if you look at their last few tournaments, not to say that hey they were great, but I mean their last few tournaments they've performed well. They've done great. They've got what the last two at the Euros, the last two,
Yeah, but let's be
and
honest. If you
then
if you if you really
I'm
assess
not
that
going to
run,
talk. Look, I know their
if you
pathway.
really
I've seen
assess,
their
yeah,
pathway.
that's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm thinking in terms of, let's be honest. We always said this. We talked about this. We always said if at the time when England will face a good team is when we'll truly assess them. And every time they face a good
Hmm.
team, they lost. Every time. Except that one
Hmm.
Germany team. But that Germany team was also no good. But every good team they faced, they lost to. I actually think this time they're better equipped because they have a good manager. People ignore what a good manager does for for teams.
Hmm.
Look at Uruguay; they were struggling, and then Bielsa made changes and they freaking won.
Yep.
Yeah, or did they draw?
It, it, no,
I
they
can't
drew. They
remember.
drew.
And
They
they
drew.
drew, sorry. Yeah,
They
yeah.
drew. Yes, we finally have. Well, that's like we have more wins than draws, even though we already had more wins than draws. But yeah, like the it's just because they don't see for England, it's they don't see the name
For England, what would you call
recognition
them?
on
For Englanders?
it. I was trying to listen. I am not wording well today. Okay, my words are not
For
moving as they
Englanders.
should. It
That's mental.
yeah for the Englanders. Yes, for the Englanders. Yes, yes. No, the English for the England supporters. I think it's just because the name recognition that they've grown accustomed to on that side.
Yeah, and it's also they look at, like, you know what it is? It's that thing where you look at someone and you just think, oh, they're so much better than us, forgetting that a lot of their players are part of
Mhm.
those teams. Like,
It's that, and they don't. And I would argue. I think they look at their team and they think they don't have that version of that, or they didn't bring the English version of that with them, right?
mhm,
So it'd be
exactly, yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
actually the right view. They look at
hmm
they look at France and go, oh, look at their wingers, oh, they're so good. I'm like, yeah.
and then they'll
Anthony
be like, well,
Gordon,
why didn't we bring
Anthony, one
Foden?
second. Anthony Gordon just went to Barcelona. He just got
Yeah.
bought to Barcelona. Rashford was one of their best players last season. They
Hmm.
forget Rice literally helped carry that team to Arsenal's first Premier League title in like 20 years and
Hmm.
got them to the Champions League final. Like, they have elite players all over the spot. It's just crazy that they automatically assume they're going to be poor. They'll be
Hmm.
a good team. It's a question of luck. Are you going to get a good pathway, or do you get a bad pathway, but that actually helps your team because you start gaining that momentum of, oh, wait, we beat a good
Hmm.
team. What if we beat another one and then another one?
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I mean, for them, at least they get their hardest group game first
Mm,
in terms of tactics,
mhm,
because I don't think Panama. I think the problem with Panama will be they don't have the talent. They may have the coaching, but at some point, maybe styles. And I've said this with England. I think England games are going to be all they're going to have close score lines, and they're going to
mhm.
be just frustrating games to watch for English fans because they'll be up maybe 1-0 and they'll think they should win that game 4-0. Then all of a sudden you have like Kokokarskia going down the midfield, putting a shot out wide. And you're like, oh, why is Panama hitting the post against us? Or
Mm.
against Croatia in here, we'd say, like, okay, well, Modric may not have the legs of 4 years ago, but we said Modric didn't have the legs of 4 years ago, 4 years ago. And then, they create something in that midfield. I think it's good for them to get this game out of the way first. And then from there, because the Ghana game will just be more for like bragging rights and vibes. London will never be more divided than when they play each other. But I think for England, Croatia first is probably your best thing because that's a team that you can definitely get
You
some
have
cobwebs
history
up.
with too. Like
Yes.
that's the thing. Like you have history with them, and they're not a good team anymore.
Mhm.
But it might help you with in terms like morale is a big thing. We were talking about this
Mhm.
against the US game, and I if you remember, I was really critical about Senegal playing US and the Senegalese coach trying something that late.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, play your best midfield so that they get chemistry. Your first game is a hard game. You already knew it was going to be a hard game. Why would you bench your best players or implement some kind of weird system? It never made sense to me. And now we're seeing the roots of this. Like, we didn't see enough reps, is my issue.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's definitely the right call for that. And so for where they are there, I think it'll be 4 minutes of additional time coming in here as we're nearing the end of the first half. Argentina up on Algeria. There's too many A. If somehow Australia ended up in this group, I would have died. Because I would have been like, the Austria versus Algeria. And like, you mean Argentina
But
versus
can we
Australia?
talk about how this game basically has had almost no chances created? Like no big chances were created in this
Every
game. Like Messi's
Yeah,
goal was just him deciding I'm just gonna score. It wasn't really
yeah.
a like good sequences of play and stuff.
Mhm.
That doesn't bode well
It's
for them.
the two goals that were wiped were probably some of the better just build up moments in this game. And then the Messi goal was just through ball clearing 5 players, Messi turning, seeing everyone back up, and he just says, "They'll have a go at it," and he does. That
Yeah.
that was basically yeah. This game has just it's the game we've come accustomed to with Argentina and Algeria have afforded themselves well, but also you would like to see a little bit more from them. But hey, it could be worse. But then again, if this game was 2-1, I'd also be feeling good about at least Algeria here because you'd be like, okay, you got your one goal. Yes, you conceded two, but hey, you shot a shot across the bow. They know you're here, and
Dude,
we can definitely feel you from.
it's a total of four like Argentina have only had 4 shots.
Yep.
That's it. Like this is a
Mm-hmm.
poor game in terms of quality in the final third. I think the midfield battle, Algeria is actually playing well. They are stifling Argentina a lot. Algeria actually doing well.
Mm-hmm.
But even when Argentina bypass that line, you can tell
Mm-hmm.
Argentina just don't have the quality of there. So it's
Yep.
just not good. This is actually of the we've had a lot of good games today. This is kind of
Yes.
a you expect more, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but this is also an Argentina. I mean, see the age of gaming. This is an Algeria side who, I mean, if there's one thing they're good at, it's being stifling defensively and then finding moments in transition. And they, instead of having to rely on Mahrez to do it for 60, maybe they only ask him to do it for 30, which again, he doesn't have the same legs that he had before, but that's a lot easier of a carry to come in and be dangerous for 30 versus that. If
But wait,
these young guns,
I'm confused. You're saying Algeria are a good defensive side?
I, I've seen them be good defensively and then transition. This is what I think they're trying to do in this game.
Mm. because I don't think
Mhm.
Algeria are a good defensive side at all. Like even in the Afcon, they won good defensively.
I mean, to that point, their DRC game was DRC just throwing on waves after wave until
Yeah,
Algeria said,
it's
"Let's."
it's the
Yeah.
issue is DRC couldn't
Hmm.
score. Like they
Hmm.
just had bad. They just it's similar to like the uh again like I'm just gonna reference something that people have recently watched. It's like the Ecuador game. I
Mm.
say ball physics are play Trionda's Jabulani version 2. I don't. I know you've referenced that. I don't see it, man.
Mm.
Do you remember how bad the Jabulani moved in the air? That there was a shot, and you can go online and find it, I'm pretty sure. I think it was either Cavani or Forlan or something. He hit the ball, and the ball was going straight. And in the last second, that ball went left, right quickly. And you could see the goalkeeper going, "What the hell? How does the trajectory change the moment it's in front of me?" You can see it in the keeper's face. Like this ball isn't moving that much. And we're also not seeing types like people would have figured out if it's a knuckleball, it goes a certain way. If it's a
Hmm.
curve ball, it does a certain thing. I think you're just seeing bad goalkeeping. I don't think I don't think you're seeing um good shots here.
Yeah,
Like people aren't
but
taking long shots. Yeah, it was
but
Fallen. Yeah,
does it become more of a conversation if we just continue to see players just skying shots?
it's
Does
because
it
people are
build?
taking bad shots. People are just taking bad shots. That is also a possibility. The
It is also a
possibility
possibility.
a
Yes.
person tries to like knuckle it, and here's the beauty of knuckleball. If you hit a knuckleball, it either skyrockets and goes to Mars, or it dips. And if it dips, that's why you're expecting it to be. Like to me, this doesn't look like Jabulani. Jabulani was a completely different kettle of fish.
Hmm.
And they even said FIFA said before, like after the South African World Cup, they said they're never going to build a ball like that again. They called it. They were like, yeah, it was too destructive. Do you not remember?
It,
Like
that. Yeah,
people
no, I
look like
remember. I
world class
remember.
players in Europe. They played in that World Cup, and elite strikers couldn't score. This game, here's the funny thing: all the elite players have scored, all of them. Haaland has scored, Isak has scored,
Yep. Hmm.
Mbappe has scored. Um, Give me elite players. Um, let's
Mm.
see, let's see. Well, most of the elite teams haven't yet played yet. Portugal haven't played.
No.
Oh, for Belgium, Lukaku almost scored technically, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the good players have scored, so it's not a question of scoring. It's or ball dynamics because you're seeing
Mhm.
people able to switch play. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
True.
Yeah, like the Jabulani, people could switch play, bro. You hit
You
that ball
switch
and that
play.
ball
It
is
ended up in
gone.
Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to play it forward. That ball goes back because it decides to curve back. Like
Hmm.
that ball was nuts. This ball isn't Jabulani. I think people are just
It's
missing easy chances.
that could be it. That
Yeah.
certainly could be it. But yeah, today feels like, and with Messi scoring this game, today feels like a day where the stars have come out and have met the spotlight that was waiting for them. Um, the other game, Norway versus Iraq, it's an own goal at the end, which ended in that cluster, but I guess it goes off of the defender last. But Holland with two, Otsegard with one in the 76, but then Emian Hussein scores both goals for Iraq, the own goal and the goal. So hey, good for you, sir. Good for you
Score the brace.
on that. But yeah, which means for standing wise, yeah, as it stands, Norway top their group because they have the +3 goal difference over France, and Senegal sits in third. Yeah. Someone with 1 point currently sits in the round of 32, and they're like, we just need to not lose our next game, which everyone is thinking
No,
for certain. But
Senegal should beat Iraq. Senegal Norway is the true test because I have no clue
yes.
how that game goes because the way Mbappe got multiple chances tells I actually rate Haaland. I'm one of the few, I guess, because people don't rate Haaland for some stupid reason. Like the guy's a
Mhm.
goal scoring machine. It makes
Yeah.
no sense why you don't rate him. But anyway,
Mhm.
I think if you give Haaland the same chances, Haaland scores a lot more. And also Haaland's physicality. Like Niakate is not getting close to him.
Mhm.
Niakate is gonna get bulldozed by Haaland. So I don't like that matchup. It might be a goal
It's
fest though. It
yeah.
might be a goal fest. It might be like a 4-3 or 3-2 game. So because I don't think Norway's defense is good.
Mhm. But they may not be good, but like, yeah, it's so tough to be like we're Senegal good in the second half. You're like, yeah, but also you're going against Olise and Mbappe, and yes, not a great match from Dembele, but that's a lot of pressure. You throw in a Doué just for fun, and so are they gonna have players running through and having runs like they are? Should Senegal not push their fullbacks forward? That's a better conversation point. Or maybe they think they can get away with it. They think it's just, hey, we'll take our center backs. Because I don't see Koulibaly chasing Holland across the pitch. I don't think that's a matchup that you win if you're Senegal. But in
I
a
think
set piece,
I
again,
think he again another problem I have with Senegal is their reliance on trying to play Mane up top. I think
mhm,
I think there's certain games you just have to bench Mane. You just have to play with pace. You just
mhm,
have to do it. Like you saw how effective Sa was at getting behind the line. The issue was
yeah,
Sa just couldn't finish, but he was consistently getting behind. So if you put Di on the left wing where Mane
mhm.
is, they have two rapid players.
Oh, yes,
Or you play him by, put him up top. It works anyway. He scored,
mhm,
right? So like I
yeah,
just think it was a again the same issues we've said um about what's his name? About the coach.
mhm,
Um what's his name? Paptiao something? About the coach. I'm not a big fan of his in-game decisions. I think he's a
mhm.
coach where he goes, what I start with is what I bank on, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
I'm just gonna back my boys to figure it
Mhm.
out while I'm in when they're in there. I don't like that.
That was a thing, like,
Yeah.
because I was watching that game and it didn't feel like he was making it felt like he waited too long to make any type of adjustments. Even like we said, if you're seeing that the game is being played and the ref it's not even swallowing his whistle, he left it at home. Then this is the game you're playing in. Those players aren't the ones to figure it out. Bring in the players
Dude,
who are yeah.
Sa got off. Mbai comes in for Sa. He scores.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you bench Mane, if you have the balls to bench Mane, you bring in Di for Mane, you probably score another. Like the opportunities were there. They just didn't take them. And then by the time, once France scored, the moment Mbappe scored, it was over. That
Mhm.
game was over. You would have to have scored immediately after that to like
Mhm.
stem the flow. But in a game like that, where it was very back and forth, as John had said, the game was flowing a little bit too aggressively, but it was
Mhm.
flowing. You
Yeah.
need people who are accustomed to playing in such conditions. And hey, I didn't even know Di came on and he actually gave the assist to Mbai. I completely didn't like I was so hard done at that point. It was 2-0.
Yeah.
I was like,
It was,
oh man, well, what am I
and
watching?
and
And
then
by
to
the
add
way,
salt to
I
the
don't know if you
injury, yeah.
noticed, he keeps going for the same players over and over and over again. He doesn't like it doesn't take a madman to realize they were getting overrun at some point. Why don't you get the big
Mhm.
guys that you have on the bench? Niakate, sorry, not Niakate. Niakate actually did play well. It's Koulibaly was poor. You should have taken a Koulibaly at some point. If you see Koulibaly struggling with their pace, bring in Mamadou Sarr. Bring in, I don't know, bring in another defender. It's okay. You're not going to hurt someone's feelings. The aim is to win the game. Win the game. Or at least draw. If they're already 2-1 up, at least go for a draw. I thought again, it's not. Senegal losing to France isn't a big deal, technically. France is a better team than Senegal. So, but the fact I'm trying to take positive. Senegal dominated them for the first half. That's the only positive. They had 2 chances created to France's none in the first half. Just so you guys know, like that's an important thing. And had Sarr scored, different game. Just like how we said with Ecuador, we have to. I'm going to put the chest out. If Ecuador scored those 3 chances that they hit the post, if they scored with any one of them, Ivory Coast probably lose that game too. Same thing.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's
Messi's the GOAT. we go and we speak on.
Messi's the GOAT.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was following up. Yes, he is the GOAT. But to be fair, that shot was mediocre.
Yeah, it was. Senegal get third. Every day loses in the third round. Tell me who the matchup is.
Yeah, I think. Tell me who they're playing. You're also understating that the first game was the hardest team to face.
Yes,
like it is the hardest team to face. Period. It's either them or Spain.
Yeah.
So just because other teams,
Spain's game was just Spain's game was just a team that said, you know what, we're not playing. You can have whatever.
Spain's game is so reliant on Lamine Yamal. It's so reliant, and it makes sense. You have one of the best players in the world, so rely on him. They didn't have it. I thought Oyarzabal would have an excellent game because I like Oyarzabal, but the guy didn't touch the ball for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
he literally broke a World Cup record. He didn't touch the ball for 30 minutes. So come on, Senegal gets third every day. No. I think they finished second. France is a lead because of Rabiot. If they get any other ref, Rabiot's booked early on in the game, and he's benched 20 minutes.
Any other ref, there's a booking.
Yeah,
this ref woke up and said no foul.
Go watch I'm not joking. Someone should do a compilation. Go check every single 50-50 challenge that Rabiot was in. Every single one was a foul. Everyone. On Pape Gay, on Lamine Camara, on Idrissa Gueye, on anyone. Any single person who went 50-50 with him was a foul. So I'm telling you, France was not elite because of him. France was elite because the ref allowed Rabiot to play that way. That's the difference. That wouldn't fly with everybody else. And by the way, if Rabiot tries that against Burge and Norway, good luck. Good luck. That man is a tank. So we'll see. And if it's the same, let's assume it's the same kind of ref. If you're going to play a physical game like that against Norway, Norway beats you easily. Haaland versus Upamecano, you want that matchup? Soloth versus Saliba, come on. That won't work.
But on the flip side, like I feel like in that matchup, France. Not to say that France will want to. Like, how would you think France approach that? Do you think they go?
I think they play the same way they played this game.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they no. It worked technically. Maybe they don't play. Like, it's insane to say don't play Dembele. Like, you can't say that. Dembele was one of the best players, or he's a Ballon d'Or winner. So it's insane to think of benching him. But I think they play the exact same way. Bring in Cherki last 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Norway, Senegal is the next matchup in that group. And then France plays Iraq. So, do what you must, France. Run through everything. But yeah, that game, that Norway Senegal game, is really going to determine first, or not even first, second or third, really.
Second.
Yeah.
Norway could surprise us. You don't know. That's another thing. Norway could surprise us and come out of nowhere. And this is a tough group, by the way. Like,
it's
yeah,
if this was 4 years ago World Cup, this is a legitimate group of death, and we're saying that the next game is for Senegal to get out of to stay alive or not. Because if they lose to Norway, they're done. Third place spot definitely opens it up, most definitely. And as you said, John, the ref was letting a lot go for most of the match, but then the last minutes or so, he started whistling Senegal, which led to confusion of players.
and exactly. You see, this is why we need John. No, because John watches these matches. He let go of so many fouls. He would let go of literally. You're watching the game and you're like, "Wait, that's not a foul. Wait, that's not a foul." Like the whole time, you're kind of like, "Oh, okay." So he's letting it go, and then immediately, genuinely, after the second goal went in, no, sorry, after Mbappe scored. No, actually, when Mbappe came in, Mbappe got tackled, and it was called for a foul, and that was weird. Because I'm like, wait, why did you give that a foul when you were letting the other ones go? Dude, there was a point. Someone was saying Rabiot was good. Rabiot kicked Mane in the face earlier. Like, come on, those are red card offenses in other games.
Well, we've seen this.
Your mic. I think you disconnected your mic or something.
Oh, okay. Give me a sec here.
No, you're back. You're back. Either you muted yourself or something. No. I don't know what you did.
Maybe. I may have for a second there. Okay. But no, like the refereeing has been you know who's looking really good right now? The Somali ref, because he didn't make any back calls. He wasn't allowed to come.
No, but let's be honest. I think
record.
I'm going to be honest. This was the second game I've seen a bad ref. Like, I can't remember which was the first one, but I think all in all, most of the games have been refed very, very well. Genuinely, I haven't had multiple complaints. This last one, I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was more shocking than it was like. I still think some of it was bad refereeing, but
no, I think a lot of it was bad refereeing, but at least to their consistency, it was just bad for everyone, right? Until those last minutes where they start calling fouls, and at that point, I'm like, oh, come on, like. If I can tackle someone by the knee, I should be able to do what I can do in the third. I should be able to do in the 83rd. That's my mantra. Yeah. So if you don't want it, ref it and give a quick yellow, call the fouls, do what you have to, but don't all of a sudden in the last 8 minutes of a game, you just be like, oh no, we're gonna start calling. No, you've determined the flow of this game.
The impressive
don't all of a sudden be
The impressive thing about Mbappe is, because he's so rapid, like people don't get to foul him. He is so fast that once he's gone, you can tell the defender wants to foul him, but he's gone. That defender can't catch up. Honestly, if you're playing him, you'd rather play 4 fullbacks than play 2 center backs, because you need the pace to catch up to that guy. You need people with insane levels of pace.
One of the more it's always remarkable to watch. Like you'll see Messi drift into space and find the spaces and do something. One of the most fun things for me to do is watch Mbappe when he decides I'm going for this run. Like he's stride for stride in the midfield, and then he decides, no, I'm going for it. And then you see the acceleration. You're like, you never had a chance. You never had a chance. When he decides to get on his horse and go, guy, just what? Either take the foul if you can reach it, or you'll be catching the grass that got lifted by his cleats. It's just something that I always look and say, imagine having that type of pace. Imagine having that, doing that. But it's just something that I never take for granted when I see him, because it's as someone who's watching the flow, you can see him decide, I'm going for this. And then from there, you're just like, yeah, good. Like the goal he scored against Bayern in Champions League, right in the
Mm.
second leg, where he just decides, actually, I'm making this run, and then he just outruns everyone to the spot and then scores the goal. Like he does that so often, and
I think
I
it's not
appreciate
just
it
the
every time.
run, it's his intelligence in timing the
Hmm.
run. Like he times balls perfectly. That's the
Hmm.
thing that's more important. It's not just the like if you see what he does, he likes dragging the defense to like the
Hmm.
wing where they're uncomfortable. So, but when he
Hmm.
cuts back in, he's one step ahead of you. And then that
Hmm.
acceleration, as you said, kicks in. And it's just he pulls away from you. Oh, Algeria have oi. Okay,
There.
let's see.
Ooh.
Yeah, just poor execution from Argentina here.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna be
You
honest, I've
can
never
read
seen
the
Messi run
idea.
this. Like Messi's been running this game. I haven't
Yeah,
seen him run like this in years. This is what happens when Di Maria isn't on. He has to run around now.
that he must.
But yeah,
Ah, just lovely. Still 1-0. Messi in the 17th minute. We'll keep that there. But yeah, guys, like, give us your thoughts on that, on the games that came before, the games that are coming afterwards. There's Jordan and Austria, who, I mean, Austria is etched in my mind
if
because
there's an
I have to listen
automatic
to.
3 points, that's an automatic 3 points. Jordan are not good at all, and Austria are actually
I,
decent. That's the
oh,
issue.
Austria are a decent side.
Yeah.
I just bring up Austria because I have to listen to Ghanaians when they played Austria
Woo!
for friendlies.
Okay,
Woo!
so Argentina almost scored.
Yep. Argentina are doing the life. But no, I have to listen to Ghanaians be like, "How did we lose to Austria?" And I'm like, "Do you know who you were playing?"
Yeah,
Well,
Austria a good
please.
side. Ralph Ragnick has really built a good team.
Yes. Much to some chagrin of some Man U fans, but he has built a
No, we're
very solid
not
Austria.
chagrin. I I thought he was a bad coach, but I think like as a sporting director type guy, I
Mm,
think he's elite. I think he's one of the best in the world. So different strokes, right? Like, and for and
mm,
for Austria, what they need isn't an elite coach. They need a guy who understands player development, a guy who
mm,
selects players. Not he doesn't select the best players. He selects the best players for a system that will
mm,
help them get to a certain point. I think people like Austria, to be honest with you, and I think this might sound crazy. I don't think they look at themselves and go, "I we're just here to compete." I think teams like Austria really believe that they can win the World Cup. I think they
mm.
really do. Whether they do it or not is a completely different story. But my boy's coming on. Thank you. I'm actually shocked he didn't start the game. Julian
Mm,
Alvarez.
mhm. And then Nico Gonzalez for Almada.
Oh wow. Wait, is this Man City Nico Gonzalez? Or is this a different Nico Gonzalez?
Uh, it could be. Let me double check for you, sir.
No, no, no. Man City is Spanish. This is the other one.
Mm,
This is Atletico Madrid.
indeed. But yeah, literally two yeah, Nico. Yeah, as you said, one is Spanish. Unless you're talking about Nicolas Gonzalez from Cedar Stars Academy and playing for Puerto Rico. Yeah, I know you stopped listening. But hey, he's out there doing numbers. Ooh,
I wonder if Nico Paz is going to join. I'd actually like to see Nico Paz
this
play.
game.
Yeah.
I think they gave him the Jordan game, like give him like 30 minutes of the Jordan game, and then be like, "This
No,
is it."
I think this game. Why can't you play? Algeria aren't that much. Um, you have to get these kids game time now. Every
Oh,
game is important
agree.
now. So I
Mhm.
think the problem is he plays as a 10. So and that's
Yeah,
currently why I think Messi's playing.
exactly. So you could take Messi out, preserve the legs.
Yeah, I think Messi's going to get benched for sure.
Mhm.
But
The
hey,
draft again started at
I saw
100.
Mbappe defend today. That's really rare.
We've seen Mbappe defend. We saw Messi tracking back defensively. We've seen it all today. We've seen it
Yeah,
all.
it is a unique day.
Mhm. If the stars are scoring today and the big names are scoring, so Bitzer, are you supposed to give me a brace today? Is that what I'm guessing? To,
Haircuts
to
will
end the
drop off.
day?
Right?
True. Very, very true. But yeah, now we have so this game. I mean, it's still 1-0. So Algeria. I mean, the door's still open for them to find a goal out of nothing or something. But even looking at how the game flow, it from a statistic standpoint, it still feels even. Well, close to even, but it's just very uneventful. That's where the difficulty to find those moments. It just feels like it's an uneventful game. But hey, that's Argentina in possession. Even this looks the same. Also, 3 subs for Argentina so far because Molina came in for Montiel at halftime. So they're on the 3 subs and no subs from Algeria as of yet. But yeah, but then for that, then because then tomorrow, Ghana Panama's at 7, and then let's get to the rest of the games coming up tomorrow real quick here as free kicks and things are flying in galore. Corner kick for Argentina. They go short. Do you like when teams go short on corners, or would you rather them just go direct and hope for someone to get the end of it? Huh. And this happens when you have a conversation with yourself. And we have a second huzzah huzzah. Argentina scoring. Let's see how I can see this come in. But from Messi, really? Messi out here just picking up his goals like it's nobody's business. Messi looking at Mbappe saying, "Yeah, I won't let you outscore me here today." A brace for Messi. Everybody's picking up braces. No VAR to take it off. Just everyone picking up braces today. So 2-0 is the score. You know what? We should get that banner here. Oh, just not Luca's not having a good day. Like Luca Zidane is not having a good day. That shot could have been gathered, but he puts the rebound and you have Messi running to gather it in. Two nil is the score. Zidane, that's a ball I think he should have been able to gather or get on. Yep. All the big guns today have bagged their braces, which means by default, like I said, Sabitzer should be getting a yeah, Sabitzer should be getting his our Limer could get one. David Alaba could get one. Like someone's getting someone is definitely getting a brace later today. These are the rules. 2-0 for that. But yeah, as we're here watching this, you guys got thoughts on the earlier games? Let us know. And we'll bring them up and we'll talk about it. And again, thank you guys for joining us here. We've gone pretty much every night of the World Cup, 9 p.m. Eastern time, talking about the games that were while we're watching the game that was. But this game feels like it's just continuing to slip out of reach of the Desert Foxes of Algeria. 2-0 is the score. Messi with a brace. The life we live is certainly something. That's actually interesting. So yeah, in this World Cup now, as I'm listening to the commentators say this, we're gonna have a live goal off of Messi and Mbappe, which I mean speaks to how clinical Mbappe has been as they are literally climbing. They are climbing the all-time goal scorers in the World Cup list in real time. Right. So Maris coming in and Ruero coming in as well. Amuras coming in. And so now, like I expected in that 60th minute, give him 30 minutes or so to try to build out and create something. But right now, let's see if those veteran names can try to create something. He's got a foul coming in and a free kick on its way. Hmm. But yeah, let me just pull this up here for you guys just to keep an eye on this. Yeah, so with his brace, Lionel Messi moves up to tied with Ronaldo. So R9 with 15. And then with Mbappe's brace today, he now moves up to. I had said on another thing mistakenly, I said 16, but it's 14. So now Messi is just ahead of Mbappe, and Miroslav Klose still has that record in 4 World Cups, and Messi would have done it in 6 World Cups. Most def, but Messi just missing another opportunity. The man wants his goals here today. No doubt. Yep. We haven't seen this man move this fast since he first got to Inter Miami. Or so the legend goes. But he is definitely buzzing. He is definitely looking for goals. But again, I think, hey, get a goal and just take him out. You got to save those legs. Most out. So 2-0. Messi with a brace. But what else is new on a day where everyone's got their braces today? But yes, with his 2 goals, he now moves to tied with R9 for most goals in World Cup history. And just one back of Miroslav Klose from Germany. And we'll see how that goes as it goes. But still, 67th minute now in the 68th minute, 2-0 on a day that just had the big names shining bright with the lights. Right, we saw Mbappe get a brace in the big win over Senegal. You saw Erling Haaland get his brace in a 4-1 win over Iraq for Norway. And now we have Argentina, who are pushing very well, looking to take this game through 2-0 over Algeria. With later coming up, Austria versus Jordan. But the stars are certainly living. The stars are certainly shining bright. Um, is Jordan known for having a good team? Well, let's talk about how Jordan got to the World Cup, and then we can kind of decide if they're a good team or not. Let's do that instead. Let's do that instead. As we look at Jordan's pathway to qualify for the World Cup, let's take a look at how they got here. Because I think we'll learn a lot based off the teams and how they got in. Because Jordan was a pot 2 team. And let's see how Jordan qualified. Jordan topped their group with Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Tajikistan with 4 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. So topping the group with Saudi Arabia, but they moved on to the next round. And then in the third round qualification, they finished second in the group with South Korea topping that group, going 6 wins, no losses. And then Jordan finished with, 6 wins, 4 draws, no losses. Didn't read the 10 right. Jordan went 4 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses with a +8 goal differential. And then also who played to the Iraq finished in third, and they went to the fourth round playoff for that, and they made the IC playoff because the last round winner of 3, then the second place of each group. So UAE played Iraq, and then they went through. So Jordan's pathway was finishing second in their group for automatic qualification to the World Cup. In it, they fell to South Korea twice. No. Yes. Most definitely. So they had 2 losses, but then came through. So I think, let me just take a look at that game here that they had. Jordan. Yeah, they fell to South Korea October 10th. And then Jordan. Iraq draw. Then Jordan, Kuwait draw. And then Jordan, a win over Palestine. And then Jordan, a draw with South Korea. So I'd say they're all right. Yeah, I'd say they're all right. Say they're all right. Will they? But it could be. I think it could end a game. I think that game ends maybe 3-1, 4-1 type of situation. Just I think there may be too much offensive power coming in that direction. That's what I would presume. We'll have to wait and see for that. Most definitely, yeah. Yeah. Held their own. They were just fine for sure. So I think that if we're looking for anything that does open the door, yeah. Because again, Iraq were a playoff winner. And so Jordan making it direct, but then at the same time, so was Uzbekistan. And so we'll see what Uzbekistan can give us in terms of what they are there as well. Because Uzbekistan finished second in the group to with Iran, right? And then UAE and then Qatar made it on the fourth round because Uzbek beats North Korea, Uzbekistan beat Kyrgyzstan. Okay, cool. They drew Iran and then they beat UAE. Cool, 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 cool. They lost to Qatar in the first matchup, and then they beat Qatar in the next one. North Korea 1-0, 1-0 over Kyrgyzstan, and then Iran draw, and then draw, and then their last game they beat Qatar, and that's what seals the deal for them. So yeah, that makes far more sense. Hmm. No, definitely. Like, there's definitely some interesting teams that we see in the tournaments, but I think it comes down to just the expanded field. Just gives a lot of those, like we said yesterday, a lot of those teams that were knocking, they were able to get a ticket through the door, or they found a window just with groups. Because remember, again, Jordan were second in their group, so they would have made it. I think in the old format. Let me actually go back to the old format just to review because I think it's important. I want to make sure I know of the old format because Asia's old third round format was. Did Jordan make it last time? No, no, they did not. That's what makes it interesting. Because they had two groups. It was the same format, but they had more groups because of the teams. And then the old format, you had, and so last one, Iran topped the group. So you had UAE, South Korea, Iraq finished one win out of the fourth round. And this is 4 years ago for just clarification. And 4 years ago, Saudi Arabia topped the group with Japan. Australia was in that spot. And then, yeah, this gets very womp, womp, womp. Because in this, I want to see the second round from 4 years ago. Yes, because second round, usually Syria, China make it out of the group. Australia, yeah, Jordan finishes in qualifying group just for the Asian Cup, and they don't make it straight because they finished tied with Kuwait at 14. So that's what makes a difference there. But hey, yep. No, definitely. And to the point here, was looking at Cabo Verde and a bit, and while watching that game, it makes it to me that they have a team compete at this level, just a small set of islands with a small population. Yes, but I think with a lot of the smaller teams, the key is looking at where they can access with the diaspora. Like we see this in CONCACAF, where Argentina really just making sure we are Argentina really just like they're out. Their parents are there, guys. Messi really just Messi's trying to outdo everyone. Messi is really trying to outdo everyone. Messi's like, no, no, no. I will be the talking point of today. You can have your braces, Haaland and Mbappe. I will have my hat trick. Throw the hats. There will be barbecued meats for everyone this evening. Now take him out and save his legs. Goodness me. Messi with a hat trick. Messi with a triple. Messi 3. That's the world we live in. Argentina nil. I said what I said. Most definitely. But yeah, I think you look at where they can access players from. And for Capo Verde, because there's a lot of Portuguese connections, you find that a lot of their players, they've been able to recruit well and find players in Portugal or and other leagues, right? Because they had some very interesting dual nationals, and they've had some names who were big names initially, but then aren't as big names as they are right now, right? Like Bebe, like let me pull up him because he was a name coming through. I think it would have been Man U a few years back. Let me go 03 here. Yeah, it's 3-0, guys. It's 3-0. Steven Morea, okay. Diogo Mendes, Dario Duarte, Gary Rodriguez. They had names. Wilson Tavares. Yeah, that's who I was wondering what happened. What happened to Wilson? 3-0. Capo Verde. But yeah, Duke, for example, or Duke, Lisboa, they have a lot of. They've been able to recruit well within the Portuguese diaspora and that connection for them, right? And it's the same way that like it's, but to a lesser degree, but with a higher uh, success rate, you see the teams kind of come through and do that. Yeah, agreed. It really is Messi's world, and we're just living in it. I agree. But yeah, like Capo Verde, that doesn't bother me as much now because there are so many people immigrating to different countries. Agreed. And there's so many more options. You've opened up the door with an expanded World Cup. How long this stays? Sure, that's a fair talking point, but we've seen it in CONCACAF, right? With the Dutch colonies, right? We've seen it with Curacao. We saw it with Suriname, right? We see it with the Caribbean islands trying to find the diaspora that they can use in England, in different spaces playing, right? We see it even in Caribbean here, like on the women's side. If you look at a lot of the youth Caribbean sides, like Guyana on the women's side is you'll see so many players playing, and they do a good job of trying to pull in different Canadians. They have a very good network of recruitment for women's programs in Canada, in Ontario. And so yeah, there's always the running joke that whenever Guyana does anything, it's just basically the same way that sometimes on the women's side we'll look and say, oh, Puerto Rico is just like the USA C. He'll say, oh, Guyana is like Canada C in that sense. No, you got to recruit because you have to. I always like to say, take advantage of the market inefficiencies, right? And that's both in a recruiting and getting players overseas, as well as getting players to come in and play for you. So yeah, every team's gonna have to do their best job at that, and there's no issue with that. Use the tools that are available to you, and plus with the new rules of adjustments of you know um, uh, capping and then one-time switch, take advantage of it, no doubt, and always be talking. Which is why I always say recruitment isn't linear. Recruitment is a process, right? So you always have to have the conversation windows open for certain. But it's 3-0. Messi has done all the scoring because Messi felt like we were talking too much about Mbappe and Haaland too much. So he decided to score a hat trick just so that, in the words of Sean Carter, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Messi. Mm-hmm. It's been happening for years. Yeah, I remember watching Germany in tournament years ago, and the broadcast going over how many of the stars weren't born in Germany. Yeah, the game is international. people are multinational. So it's never bothered me. I've seen German players play for Ghana. I've seen Ghanaian players play for Germany. We've seen Canadians of all different types play for Canada. It will never bother me because it's a very fair representation of who we are as a country. So you know what? We're gonna we're gonna live that life, and I'm not gonna be mad about it. No doubt. Messi with the hat trick. And we're living as we're getting to the closing moments of this game. Ref probably is going to give about 5 minutes of additional time here, but this game is very much been decided. It's no longer in the ballots. The ballots have been counted, and Messi said 3 for Argentina. Unless we see the most epic collapse that we've ever seen, where a team gives up 3 goals in the last 12 to 15 minutes, which I'm not anticipating. I'm saying this, I am not anticipating that. This should be an Argentina win. This should be an Argentina win, which means for the schedule, what we have coming up tomorrow, technically tomorrow, because, tomorrow evening is a thing, or tomorrow morning. At midnight tonight, we have Austria versus Jordan, which I'm going to go with Austria winning 2-0. And then starting at 1 after that, we have Portugal versus DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, or RDC, République Démocratique du Congo. I think that game goes 2-1. You have England, Croatia, which I think is going to be a cagey 1-1 draw. Ghana versus Panama, in which you will see me die inside if Panama wins. You already saw me slowly die inside when Ghana played Wales. So I hope Ghana wins, but I'm going to go with the worst case scenario, a draw. A loss, I am ready for a loss. A draw doesn't help anyone. That becomes a problem. So someone needs to win that game. And then the nightcap is Colombia versus Uzbekistan. And so tomorrow, technically, we have 5 games coming, but really it's 4 games because the midnight game starts at midnight. And so that's what's coming up tomorrow as we begin to get closer to the action. And if you guys want to put some predictions out here into the world, feel free to do so. I'm wondering what you think will happen with the games coming tomorrow. Again, Austria versus Jordan. You have, ooh, this is a fancy little free kick for Algeria. I mean, it'd be nice for them to get a goal out of this game in a game where, I mean, if not for VAR, they would be up. But hey, this is the life they live. Maybe a shot on frame, forcing the save. A goal would be nice just to keep the goal difference to a minimum. Let's see what they can do with this free kick. Basically, if you want to leave your predictions for tomorrow, feel free to. Again, Austria, Jordan, Uzbekistan, DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, Croatia, England, Ghana, Panama, and then Uzbekistan, Colombia. Feel free to put any predictions you want there as we watch this Algerian free kick coming through. Big moments we wait. Free kick blocked. And a throw incoming. So throw incoming for Algeria. See what they can build here. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. John, given the predictions as usual, figure Austria should handle Jordan. All right. Portugal defeats DRC. Yep. Now, England versus Croatia. Tell me where your heart is, John. Tell me where your heart is. I'm intrigued. It is tough because I think it's a team that we've said they're old. We keep on saying Croatia is old, and they keep on showing that age is but a number. And then you have an England side that doesn't have necessarily the names that I think a lot of English fans are looking, like me and Nelson were talking about earlier. But I think what they're missing is it could be still a good side. It's the side that Tuchel wants. And so if they're going to play that style, I think that's where I would say, why didn't you just bring a Southgate side? But I, I could see that game ending in a draw. True, right? I want to say England, but as I've heard people mention earlier today, England tends to beat up on the lesser thans and falter against the good competition. This is true. I I'm not saying they're gonna buck the trend here, but I am gonna say I think I these words I may regret. I Hey, whether you love him or hate him, Tuchel picked his side, and so we'll be able to wait and see if this was the right side for him to bring to this. And he gets his first real test right off the bat. I think it can go either way. That's why I picked the draw. But hey, I could be wrong, and that's okay. That's all right, and that's okay. We won't be perfect on everything, but we'll certainly hope for the best, as the saying goes. 89th minute, waiting to see how much for additional time we have coming up in this game. It'll be fun for sure. Algeria with a deep throw in the 90th, 89th minute. Waiting for the ref to indicate how much additional time we have. Yes, the if you look at the stats, the possession is definitely flipping towards Algeria, but clinical Messi night, 3-0 for him. And we'll definitely see that side coming next there. Not sure if Croatia's good as they used to be, but I'm thinking that's a test for England for sure to start off. We're going to learn a lot about some of these sides. I think it also helps that it's not an early start. I do like RDC Congo to look better against Portugal than they would against, say, they did in their playoff, just because they can get to play the more defined style of play, which is defend and then counter. But just you're doing it against Portugal, not Jamaica, or a very bad or very or poorer than normal Cameroon side. So we wait and we see for certain. We're in the additional time, waiting to see how much additional time we have. 6 minutes of additional time. So that makes sense. 6 minutes of additional time is coming for the rest of the same. Injury time coming through. But we wait and we see. And we wait and we watch with glee. One minute down, 5 to go. This game has been just Messi picking his spots, a rebound, direct shot, and then the third goal there just for added measure. Messi was clinical. There's no doubt about it. And he felt like everyone else was getting the headlines today. So instead of getting a brace, he got a hat trick. As John Patrick said, it's Messi's world tonight, and we're just living in it. 3-0 is the score. And Argentina will be topping their group, and they'll be waiting to see from the result where we assume Australia gets past Jordan. But hey, Cape Verde happened, so maybe we see an interesting result. We also saw Australia get past Turkey, so it could be an interesting result as well. But into the third minute of additional time, Argentina very much have this game in the bag. Huh. C'est intéressant ça. Qu'est-ce qui est arrivé là? Parce que le temps, c'est pas. Ben, c'est intéressant. Okay. So, with that being the case, let's throw it over here to the games that are coming tomorrow, like we said, because we need to keep you informed of the fun that's about to begin. Nothing confuses you more like seeing SofaScore update from the past and be like, a goal has been scored, like another one, but it still says 3, he says. Alrighty, so like we said earlier, the games tomorrow, you have starting at midnight, Austria and Jordan, then Portugal and DRC, and then you have England, Croatia, then Ghana, Panama, and then Colombia, Uzbekistan. But thanks to the results for today, here is where we currently stand to let you know. You have Norway topping Group I with 3 points, but a +3 goal differential. France with a +2 goal differential, and this being second. And because of goal difference, though France lost, they hold a third place spot over Iraq due to only losing by 2, not 3. And then today's game, here are the first group. The first in the group is Argentina. They are sitting at +3, and with their 3, they're top of the group. Algeria are -3 at the bottom, and the results of Austria and Jordan will then affect that. And reminding you again, in Group H, you have Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, Spain, and Cape Verde with 1 point each. And then Group G, you have New Zealand and Iran topping their group. Also, the whole group 1 point each, but because of goal difference, New Zealand and Iran are 1-2, and then Belgium and Egypt are 3-4. In Group F, you have Sweden topping that group with 3 points with a +4 goal difference with their 5-1 win over Tunisia, and Japan and Netherlands are drawn, so 1-1 each. Group E, Germany is leading the group with the goal difference +6 on 3 points. Cote d'Ivoire with the win over Ecuador are in second place. Ecuador in third, then Curacao in fourth. Group D, the USA with their 3 points, with their 3-point win over Paraguay. So they're there. And then Turkey in third after losing to Australia. So Australia with 3 points, but a +2 goal difference. So it's in second. Group C, it's Scotland with a 1-0 win over Haiti. Morocco and Brazil are drawn. So that's where they sit there. Group B, Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and Bosnia and Herzegovina are all drawn and all 0. All games were 1-1. And then Mexico and South Korea topping their groups. Mexico with a +2 goal difference on top with South Korea. They play Czechia. No, they play South Korea next. And South Africa plays Czechia. And that's where the groups stand as we wind down the final moments of the matchup between Argentina and Algeria. Still 3-0. No goals have been scored yet. But looking like they're going to try to see this game out here. No injuries. Argentina gets the free kick to seemingly just boot this ball away and end this game as we wait for the final whistle from the referees to come through. So Argentina sends the free kick, and that is the game as it stands. Again, if you look at the stats, it might look, oh, Algeria had a little bit more possession, but no, Argentina were just a far more clinical side. They were the better side, unfortunately, for them. 3 goals. There were 5 goals scored, but 2 were wiped off for VAR. So If you had counted those 2 goals, this game would have been 4-1 with Lionel Messi with 4 goals. But we'll just take the hat trick, him doing Messi things. That is your final. And again, yes, game was well in hand. No reason to risk the injury or fatigue or freak injury. I agree. I think once he scored 2, you maybe think you maybe am a third, and then you get him out of there. But yeah, you're good. And with that third goal, again, just because we've been watching it today, Messi should have tied Miroslav Klose for. Yes, he has. Thank you, Wikipedia, for updating your numbers. Again, the sources. Messi is now the joint goal scoring leader of all time at World Cups. Players who've played at least 5 tournaments, but he's done it so far in the most matchups, 27 matches played, which makes what Kylian Mbappe is doing just ridiculous because he's got his 14 in 15 games. And with Iraq coming next, Mbappe is he's definitely coming for that record. And this feels like this might turn into anything you can do, I can do better type of a situation. And so, because of that, we're definitely going to watch and see what he's able to do in the games to come. But we're going to have a live standing off between Messi and Mbappe as to who will end the tournament with the most goals at a World Cup of all time. Is certainly something we will be watching as it goes through. But again, guys, thank you for spending some time with us this evening. It was great to talk about the games that were. We watched the game that was. Tomorrow will be early. We'll be there at 7 because I will be here and you will see me either crumble or celebrate with Ghana's game versus Panama tomorrow. So we'll be here at about probably 6:30. Set up the lineups, talk about the stories coming through. We'll actually probably come in at 6 because get everyone ready, and then we'll run till you'll see me break down or just be like, well, we did the thing. I am ready for the worst case scenario, which is a draw, because that helps no one. Someone needs that win that game, whether it's Ghana or Panama. And how Ghana's been playing, yes, they'll have a lot of support, but they need to play better than they've played. But anyways, it'll be tomorrow. So that's tomorrow. So we'll be here at 6 tomorrow to talk, the preview that game, get that going. And again, thank you guys for being here. And again, as always, hit that subscribe button. We do primarily African and Canadian content here. So after tomorrow, we'll also, be back at as early as we can on Thursday for the Canada-Qatar game, a massive moment for Canada soccer. If they can get a win there, that definitely improves their chances moving forward in that World Cup. But guys, we're going to leave it off here. We thank you for spending some time with us today. And as always, we'll just end our stream when we say we will. But until then, thanks again. I hope you've been enjoying the World Cup. The games have been good, but we're not going to ignore the things happening around them. We hope that there is justice for all. And with that, we will just